want to kind of go down the list on who and kind of talk about what we have, what we have coming. And I'll see if actually I got a few people that I want to talk to. Alan, if you're out there too, I want to try to get a hold of you later on too. And at the end of this video, how you doing, sir?
What's up, bud? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah. Been busy. So have you.
It's been a minute. You've been pretty busy, I can see.
Yeah. Still got a lot to get going. I got closed my business down, so I'm trying slowly, gradually moving all the stuff out of the warehouse for that. Yeah. And I started a new job here, so I ain't been able to edit as much.
So you started a new job?
I start in about in 2 weeks.
Oh, really? How's the weather up there?
It's cold.
Or over there?
Well, right now it's good. It's in the 50s right now, but tomorrow it turns cold. And it sucks because I get all these bats coming in tomorrow, and now it's going to be everything. I think it's going to be 40 degrees or less. So
wow.
Yeah. So
that makes some
indoor stuff.
Do you hit indoors though? A little bit.
Video wise, in my opinion, people don't watch it as much, but we will hit indoors. Yeah, they just don't seem to like it as much.
What I would do is I would still do it, but basically breaking the bat in.
Yeah.
Getting some reps in on it, getting the feel of the bat is basically when I would do it. And that it actually helps us because we can walk right into when it does get sunny outside or does warm up, we can walk right into it and the bat's already there for us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But if you think about it, the bats that are being made nowadays, a lot of them are just game ready.
Oh, yeah.
So you really don't have
you don't break bats in that much anymore. It's very rare.
Man, back in the day, man, we'd sit there and take 50, 500, 400 swings just to get, I remember those days, just to get back where it's going to loosen up for you.
Yeah, it kind of leads back to what you were talking about, bat rolling and stuff like that. That's back when bat rolling was, big because it took so long to break a bat in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you're always going to have your bat shaving, but the bat rolling guys would say, hey, you're cheating. But they're like, no, they're just trying to break the bat in faster. Yeah. Some people don't have the time, but I have mixed feelings on it. I mean, but honestly, breaking in a bat fast, it don't make, it makes it hotter faster, but it's like, it's legal. It's basically still legal if it passes compression. So I have mixed feelings about it. I get what they say about it, but like I said, it is what it is. The bat shaving is where the problem is. And, that's where you have an issue with stuff like that. Even if it's shaved bat and it still passes compression, then I don't care.
I think I'm with you. I think it's a disadvantage for the older guys that live up north.
Yeah.
That actually could get it done and actually do not, because it's like us down here in the South. It's not really like down in Texas or San Antonio this rolling is like a lot of people don't roll here because they can go out and they hit. Even the older guys can go out and they hit those bats. A lot of those guys that are up north, actually, I do see a lot of those guys. A few of those guys that talk about it are looking to getting it done because they can't get out there and they can't do it. I mean, because it's a law that you can't do it, or is it frowned upon?
Yeah. And it's like we just said, the game ready bats is where it's at. I mean, that's at the end of the day, it's about selling bats, and the game ready bats is going to sell faster. I mean, even like if you say, hey, this is a high bat speed bat, and this is a low bat speed bat, the high bat speed guys are still going to go get the low bat speed bat a lot of times because it's just hot. I mean, that's all there is to it. And that's, what we're supposed to do and what we do are two different things. And, a lot of times, but I get it. I mean, it's fun. You want the hottest bat out there, and senior guys, not so much like the younger guys will spend a little bit more money to go through more bats, where the younger guys are like, nah, man, I want something that's going to last me a little bit longer or something, or they'll baby it or something like that. But you get out there and you hit them bats, man, them hot ones, man, it's hard to go put it to the side. You're like, okay, I got put too many licks on this, and you just want to keep hitting.
Yeah. I see that a lot, and I do see a lot of the, like you said a minute ago, about a lot of the guys with that high bat speed just want to get 2 or 3 tournaments out of it.
Yeah.
As long as they're hitting the ball, like it, like that in that fast break in, they don't care. And they got deep pockets, and they'll go out there and spend the money on that.
And at the end, it's all about having fun. And if you go out there and you pick up this bat that's out of the wrapper gas, it's fun to hit it, man. And you don't want to put it down and then you bust it. And you're like, well, I was playing with fire, but hey, it happens. Some guys will complain. They'll say, oh man, I only put 20 swings on this with 52 300s, but you know, they're out there hitting in 55-degree weather, hitting launch 650s or something, and you know, but it was fun.
Yes.
But you know, but
another thing too is, and I know you can tell this, and a lot of people don't really get this stuff, but yeah, I know you can tell this. If I send you a bat and I tell you I have 5 swings on it, I actually have 150. You can tell, right?
yeah,
because you've done this for a long time, and you can tell if that bat has more. And they'll try to tell you, Dave, I only put 5 on it. I said, man, it's got striations all up and down the barrel.
Yeah.
And the longer the striations are, the more you've used it. So a lot of guys will actually try to put, like, Dave, you don't understand. We've been doing this for a long time, and we can usually tell.
What's like the 5 swings you say, you're like, what did you hit? Rocks? I mean, this is like, you threw up a boulder and hit it or something. It's like, you didn't hit softballs with this thing, man. But, you'll see scratches and beat all up.
Yeah, definitely. Let me ask you this. What about the bat shaving? Do you see it getting worse? Or do you, because you've been doing this, when did you start doing this with the Fat Guy BP?
Oh man, I started right before COVID, but then when COVID hit, I really just, so my life, I'll put it this way, my life didn't really change much with COVID, whereas a lot of people had to stay home, they couldn't work, and I made one of those fake certificates saying I was, I could go drive the roads, go to work and all that stuff. So man, me and my son, it's just me and my son live together. So I was still to go to the school behind, and it was down in a pit, in a hole. Nobody could see me. So I still just go out there and hit and do bat reviews and still just do my thing. And it started taking off then. And then, the older I got, the more I got into the senior stuff. And I met Chad, who hits with me, and I met Josh, who's back hitting with us again. And we've been good friends ever since. And they really helped me out a tremendous amount. And yeah, man, I guess 2019 to 2020, something like that. And just been going on. So, but I mean, Dakota's glad I brought Chad and Josh out there because it's someone else to pitch to me. So he got tired of pitching to me and stuff. But yeah, dude, it's been fun, man. I mean, it's got some headaches to it, but it's got, it's fun too. Met a lot of new people. I mean, Richard Clem, he's one of my best friends, dude. I talk to that dude probably 3 or 4 times a week, and but man, we're really good friends. Same as Chad and Josh. I didn't know those guys until I started doing bat reviews and stuff, and I've met a lot of people in the bat world, that are pretty, I consider friends. And
when you go out and play a tournament, and this is one thing too, when people see you, how do they act? In other words, like when they see you walking up,
it's 50-50. It's like a lot of people want to be, they're like, hey man, cool, I'll watch your stuff, and they're very positive stuff. And then some people just kind of like, they're always looking you up and down, sizing you up. But that's softball. I mean, it's people are all in the softball world that I see, especially if you have a platform, people are going to tear you down. I mean, that's just the way it is. But that's softball in general in tournaments. That's why we have rankings. You got A all the way down to E, and people are always sizing you up, man. It's like constant dick comparison contest, and it's just. But you kind of get used to it. I mean, but a lot of times, what I've learned, I'm a little bit like Rick Clem. I'll get mad fast, and I want to snap at him and stuff. But it's like now I've just kind of learned, like, you'll say something bad toward me or negative toward me. I'm like, oh, you got me. Oh well, now what you got? I don't care. I just don't care as much anymore. I mean, it's just I care about what I do. I care about my guys. But like, if you come at me, man, I just whatever. And I don't really give a shit.
I 100%. And you got to have that thick skin. And you develop it over the years, where it doesn't really bother you anymore. People, and if they are saying something bad, that means you're doing something good. I've got to talk Richard off the cliff a lot of times when he calls me and said, "Did you see this? What are we going to do about it?" I said, "We're not going to do anything about it."
Yeah, and he's got your best interest at heart because he's a very protective person.
Yeah,
but. I mean, I talk to Clem all the time about stuff, and he's a good dude. He's a really good dude. But I see what he says. I get mad like that some, and I got Chad that I lean on too, and I'll talk to him and stuff, and they, they'll talk me off the ledge sometimes, but because I just want to go after people. But you got to understand too, and that's what some of us bat reviewers got to understand. You're on a platform, and if you're on a platform and you say anything, remember you're on a platform. You're pretty much a target all the time. So don't say dumb shit, or don't say. Like when I do a video, sometimes I know it's going to get tore down. Oh, he's hitting stadiums. It's 45-degree weather, or he rolled his bat or something like that. And I'm going, at the end of the day, I go through my video and I try to say, I'm going to beat you to every punch that I can do it before you get there. I'm going to tell you the weather. I'm going to tell you the balls. I'm going to tell you how big we are. Chad, people think Chad's 6'5" and he's 5'7". So, I mean, because he hits the ball so much, or you'll hear Chad is, he's roided out to the gills or something like that. And if I was built like him, I was like, why are we discrediting Chad because he goes to the gym? I mean, why is that a
He
bad
puts in
thing
the
or
work.
something?
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
are you discrediting a senior player for putting in the work and you're gonna rip him down? Yeah.
But
they're out there.
But it's funny, man. I still love it. I mean, there's a lot of negativity to it, but I still love it. But like I've had people that have they think being on a platform is a bad idea, and I go, yeah. I said it's fun though. I got to meet a lot of people. It's fun. But they said, but if you're on a platform, remember, you're gonna always have people coming at you, and there's not a whole lot you can say, and you can't protect a lot of the other people. And that's like, if like I don't put Dakota out there, I try not to put Dakota out there as much because I can't protect them. And if they come after my son, I would probably lose my mind. But you gotta, when you go into this, sometimes, yeah, we say dumb shit sometimes, or say stuff that we later on we regret saying, or we say stuff you're like, you know what, I wasn't right there. I maybe missed that on this. But if you go back and you're pretty cool, you're pretty open minded, and you just say, hey man, just be honest, and that's all that matters at the end. Some people though, like in this bat world, they kind of like they try to rationalize everything they do, and I'm like, you can't do that, man. I mean, you're on video, they got you, they can, you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about bat reviewers and stuff like that. And if you do a shitty bat review on someone's stuff, bro, you better be ready for them to come at you.
Yeah.
Or if you say a shitty bat is good, they're gonna come at you. So it's just, it is what it is. I mean, you just want to be as transparent as possible. You try to look out for people, but in the long run, man, don't say stuff and don't think something's not going to happen and stuff. And I know you deal with a lot of shit and stuff like that. And it's crazy, man. I mean, it's crazy and stuff. And it's like, I've talked to Jeff, I've talked to people, I say, dude, I don't know why you do it. I was like, I just, sometimes I wouldn't want to do it, but I deal with it too, but I don't deal with it at the level they do. But I mean, I love it, man. I've had a lot of opportunities come my way. But it's cool. I mean, but what y'all got coming up, man?
You got a lot of people watching you play too. That's one thing that when I was doing senior softball bat reviews, I would have a group of people just coming and watching me hit, and then when you do have what's happened recently is when you do get a signature bat, then you'll get the guys that are either jealous that say, why is he getting one? What has he done? But I don't publicize what I've done.
Yeah.
I don't sit there and brag about what I've done. So they wouldn't know. So, and I kind of blow them to the side going, well, you really don't know. And I'm not really going to tell you, So we got what I wanted to get you here and talk to you about is your bat.
Okay.
That is coming. We talked about this a few months ago about people are asking you do, and I think I love when you do this, and I think you should going forward do this all the time on a Friday, and you would do that early podcast.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would tune in to listen to what you have because a lot of people are driving home from work on Friday, and you'd always do it early. And I tuned in a couple of times, and then you would actually listen to what you had coming. I think that's a great idea when you do that. And people ask you, what about the fat guy BP 2.0 or are you going to change anything? And I know give everybody because you're building this and it's going for a good cause, and I think that's freaking great on what you're doing with that. So give people a heads up.
And that's Leslie and Jeff too. They've been super supportive on what I want. They really wanted to push toward that. And but what I will say what's different about them is they put their money where their mouth is. Whereas they don't just go make a bat with a cause and just sell a bat. They actually put money toward the organization, Autism or Miracle League. They put money toward that, which is different. With my bat, I'll go over the details. It's supposed to be the same barrel. It's Kevlar, so we all know the Kevlar is the new way to go. I still wanted that stiff handle, but I've been hounding Jeff for a while about the SpinTech. And I said, I said, hey, can we put SpinTech on this bat? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And he says, we'll get you a prototype in and stuff like that. And I thought I got it. It's right here, but I mean, it's not you know, it doesn't have any graphics or anything like that. But we got it in. First thing I picked it up, I was like, ooh, this thing's got some butt to it. And we scaled it. It scaled heavy. I told Jeff, I said, this thing's heavy. It's heavier than some of your other bats. I said, but we went out there and hit it. And man, the Kevlar with SpenTech, it's just nasty, dude. Like, me and Chad were hitting it, and I've got more clips to put out because I have to hold us back from swinging it so much because we love it so much. But you can hit a ball out. Adam never does that. And I'm like, I have a short pitch, and I'll cut down on it short in front of me and spin it, you know, off the fence. And I'm a spinner. I cut it. You know, I cut the ball. So does Chad. And, dude, with this SpenTech, that end load and that hot Kevlar barrel, and then I got a stiff handle, I don't think I could get out. I mean, honestly, it's just a fun bat to hit. And I was excited. I mean, when Jeff said he would let me get, you know, let me create this and stuff, and then they placed an order for my bat, and he ordered some more blackouts, and they put the SpenTech on the blackouts. We hit the new blackout too.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude, that bat's hot as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hot as hell.
We fell in love with it. We got 460 swings on ours, of all of us swinging it.
Yeah.
Nonstop. And that bat was all the way till the end. That bat was a badass bat. All the way till the end.
I think the only thing we're going to change on my bats, we're going to cut back the inload a little bit because it had a bigger inload than some of the other bats.
Yeah.
And we might cut back on that a little bit. But it's going to still be like a half-ounce inload, the short Porch half-ounce inload, which is not, you know, it's got some butt to it. It's not like, you know, your big brands like the Wilson or Rollins brands that they might be half-ounce, but they feel almost like mid-loaded to balanced almost. They don't have a lot of load in it. And then, of course, they have a lot of hand weight in them. But man, I'm like tickled to death. This is what I mean. I love the previous Fat Guy BP bat, but this thing, I mean, holy shit, dude. It just
now another thing too is, and I know you swung them, and the reason I'm talking to you about this is you have swung them all.
Yeah.
I think Proton came out with a SpenTech, which was a totally different SpenTech than this one. A lot of guys got to understand that, and the only reason I'm talking about it is because I have you here, right? So it is totally different than that kind of SpenTech because this is a little bit more gel, a little bit more gooier than that. Proton.
Well, the Proton was rubbery, where this is like the Dudley. It reminds you of the Dudley bats, or the maybe a little stickier than the Dudley, but it reminds you of that or the anonymous bats. But I mean, it's a big sweet. I mean, it's got a big spot from here, you know, from to the white down. I don't think this is definitely not going to be the colors. I don't know what the paint job's going to be. Jeff and Leslie are going to surprise me with that, but I do know it's got my knucklehead son's name on it, and it has something to do with autism. But I'm super, you know, I'm excited about it. But the SpenTech, dude, I mean, that's a game changer in my opinion for me because I spin it and cut it. Yeah, it's a game changer.
You know, it stays in the air, in the air a little bit longer when it has that Magnus effect whenever you're cutting it.
Yeah,
because you know that's when you cut the ball, that's what you're going after, that Magnus effect, that spin. And if you can get a few more rotations on it, it's going to up it. It's going to up your game, and you're going to be burning people in the outfield. When are you looking at this bat going to be released?
Probably the 1st of March. 1st of March is what I was told. It might come a little early, like the end of February, but I think you just look for spring, 1st of spring maybe, is what I was told.
And that has a lot to do with the Chinese New Year, the New Year up there, where they're going to be shut down for a while, basically. So yeah, they're going to have to wait, and I think that's great. I think it's going toward a good cause on what you do for that, and it gives you something. And I always like this because I came from what you are at right now. Is it gives you something you can build. You can build and have out there, not someone. Not a factory building it for you. Yeah. You know, it's you doing the design and you giving the approval and you putting it out there and putting your ass on the line again because you do it every day when you're doing what you do. So basically that's what I like about it, because this is S.A.R.M.S. Design.
Yeah.
It's not
and kind of like what you did with the sleep bat. And I hit that bat, and I hit it the other day, and I put so many licks on it that Chad can't swing it because the barrel's too soft, but it still works for me because it's right around in like 160, 170 range. It's still almost kind of borderline, almost too soft for me, but man, the load on your bat was perfect. I mean, I told Chad, I was like, and when I swung this one, the Fat Guy BP bat, I said it reminds me of Dave's bat, especially when I drop it and kind of keep it vertical when I'm trying to cut it out in front. It reminded me of your load, because I've always told you, I said, that's the best loaded bat I've had in a while that I like, and I swung the 26. But yeah, it just worked. That short barrel, that stiffer handle, and that load, it just, man. And then you put spin. If you would put spin tech on your bat, Dave, holy shit! I
Uh,
mean, it would have been nasty.
We're working on some stuff that's going to come out next month. What was I going to say about? It was going to be about your bat. What is the barrel length on your bat?
I think it's a 12-inch barrel. Yeah, 12 or 12 and a half. It's
That's what it was last time too, right?
Yeah,
it was a 12-inch barrel.
Yeah,
right. And
yeah.
then you had
and it doesn't swing like a 12. I mean, in my opinion, I always felt like this with the short porch stuff, and there's certain bats out there, it doesn't swing like a 12. I mean, it swings like I can whip it. I can really whip it, but like it feels like it's got a big ass sweet spot on it, because it doesn't feel like it's like a small sweet spot. It just has a big sweet spot on it, and that's the one thing I like about it and stuff. And with that end load, that short barrel, and you got that stiff handle, and then you put the spin tech, that barrel will break in fast. I mean, it'll break in really fast for you and stuff. And it is hot, man, and stuff. I'll tell you the one thing about the Kevlar is the compression test is weird though. Like you'll test it, it's up and down all the time. It jumps all around. Yeah. But it's weird like that.
We hit one the other day, and the compression tested, got it home, and it was like 6 pounds heavier, 6 pounds more pounds than it was when we left it.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you leave it, it'll actually gain compression on you.
Yeah.
When you take it home. The one thing you look for too, and this is one thing that we found, I said it earlier, was you can, like an other bat, you get down to a 160 compression, and that bat starts to implode on you. But if you get down to 160 compression in a Kevlar, it actually holds up really good. The barrel holds up really good. And you might go down to a 150 compression, and until the barrel starts being too soft for you. Kind of like what you talked about with Chad.
Yeah.
How many swings you got on your bat already? Do you know?
Oh man. I got at least 150, 160 swings on it. Now we've had some not so great weather, so I've been babying it. And two, I've had to hold Chad back from swinging it because he wants to swing it so much. But the one thing is, like, even when it gets low like that though, when the compression gets low, I don't square it. I don't try to square it. I try to cut everything. So it helps me a little bit. Sometimes if it gets lower like that, it doesn't affect me as much. Someone like Chad now, I'm gonna put the whiteout short porch review out today. It comes out today, and I talk about that in the video where we were hitting in some cooler weather, and I let Chad hit the whiteout, and he was hitting it, and he started, and it was 58 degrees. And I said, we're playing with fire. I know that, so we don't want to, you're hitting in cold weather. I said, you got to baby this back. So Chad started squaring stuff up. And Chad's not he doesn't necessarily, he can square it up. But I said, dude, you're playing with fire. You're squaring it up right now. And he said, no, you're right. And he was like, he stopped hitting it. And because he normally is a cut, he cuts it really good. And Chad hits in the triple digits. I mean, he hits 100 miles an hour off on exit velo easy. And I was like, man, just, let's back it off or whatever, or stop hitting it. And he did, and it saved it a little bit. And then with me, I don't hit it hard, but I still cut everything and stuff. Sometimes it might be a little harder for me to break in a bat than say a Chad, but because I cut it so much. But Chad, when he starts squaring stuff up and it's cold weather, you're playing with fire, man. I mean, and stuff. And I told Chad, I said, we bust this bat, dude. It's our fault. It ain't, it ain't the bat company's fault. It's our fault. And he was right. But we caught it, you know what I mean? But I've got some clips I'm gonna put out of him swinging my the prototype, and dude, he just is hitting. He hit his highest velo with it, and he was hitting bombs 104 into the trees. I mean, just lasers, not like just moonshot shit. I'm talking about lasers, man. And it was just, I mean, absolute just fun shit to hit. I have to take it out of his hand because he wants to keep hitting it. Because it's just so damn hot, Yeah,
that's.
But
with my guys, you got to, if you have some of the old bats from short porch laying down, or they won't even touch them anymore. Yeah, they'll just swing the Kevlar. But I just wanted to bring you on, talk about your bat, what you are getting out of it, and have you talk about it. It's going to a great cause, and what you're doing. I think that's amazing. With a
Kevlar Tech, I've hit my highest exit velo ever on a bat. I've hit more bombs than I've probably ever hit, and I have worked on my swing a little bit, so I've kind of changed my swing. But dude, I mean, we play this thing called the hitting game, and I started hitting that blackout with the Kevlar Tech, and they said, Adam, you can be all-time home run hitter. I said, okay, and they were making fun of me because I don't hit home runs, right? And then I just kept boom, boom, hitting them out, and they were like, what the hell, dude? And I said, is this bat? I was like, I would like to say it's this guy right here, but it ain't, But I was like, Yeah, that bat's hot as shit, dude. And but no, we were just having fun with it, man. It's a fun bat to hit too, by the way, and stuff. And so is Trey's. Trey's bat's a really good one.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's some good stuff, man.
The one thing I like about that spin grip technology is you get a little bit more. That coating weighs a little bit, right? So when they put that coating on that barrel, that you added an extra, I don't know, few grams on that barrel. So it's actually going to help you for one, a trampoline effect because of it, and then it's going to help you compress that barrel a little bit more. So when you pick it up, you're right. Whenever you said you picked it up, it has a little bit more ass to it. That's I think it's because of the coating they put on.
Yeah. Well, and the thing too is, I talk about it in the video, is like the trampoline effect on the bat. Whereas like you have some of the other bats on it, and I'm not shitting on any other people's bats, but some bats just kind of trampoline. Whereas the Kevlar is like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it just shoots out, the barrel just cut. Where you got some other bats that'll kind of grab the ball and it feels soft and it feels good to you. But and I'm not saying they don't give you the same exit velo and stuff like that, but this one's just a little different. It's like, I mean, you just feel it shoot off that barrel. It's crazy. It's like it's got a spring inside the damn barrel or something, you know. And it's got a little bit of a crisper feel. It's not a super soft feel, but it's kind of like medium to stiff maybe or something. And but I mean, man, I like it. I mean, I'm tickled to death when they come in. I'm gonna see how many I can buy. So
see,
from Jeff.
And Jeff really wasn't a big believer with that spin grip. He wasn't.
He wasn't. And I know too, what Jeff hits on the hit tracks, right?
Yes.
So the one thing on the hit tracks, it doesn't count in spin. It's launch angle and exit velo.
Yeah.
When I'm and that's when they test bats, they do that. And I said, dude, I'm telling you, man, that spin tech it's different. I say, I mean, I love it. And I've been, you know, and Jeff was saying, he said the numbers weren't that good on it. And I said, let's just try it, you know. And Jeff tried. He was like, tried it and stuff like that. And someone like Jeff, he squares the ball, pulls it, and he's got the launch angle, which is a baseball term, you know, kind of a terminology where it's soft. And then Jeff hits the shit out of it. Jeff's not a big dude, but he hits the shit out of it. But like you get someone like me that spins it, and I have such a downward swing, and I try to hit it out in front, and then everybody thinks that I'm hitting the bottom third of the ball. No, I'm squaring it up, kind of squaring it up, but I'm not, because I'm coming down in such a steep angle. The ball, you know, shoots off like that, and it works for me. I'm not saying it works for everybody else, but if you square it up with that spin tech too, it'll knuckle like crazy. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I ain't gonna lie, I absolutely love it. So we've tested it. We think it's good. I can't wait for it to come out. I want to see what the final product is with a little bit less inload in it.
Well,
the spin tech too.
He's
spin tech too added some weight, like you said, some weight to it, and that's why we had to cut the weight back just a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. But he's a firm believer now. Okay. After talking to you, he's a firm believer. Thanks for what you do, Adam. You guys on here need to go. Fat Guy BP. You're on YouTube. You're on Facebook. You're on Instagram. You're on everything, aren't you?
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So just get on
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I put clips out on YouTube, Instagram, and I don't put as many out on TikTok sometimes, but I put out a lot on Instagram and Facebook, and then I put all my reviews out on YouTube. Go over there, guys. If you ever need anything, discount codes for I probably got a discount code for everywhere, because I try to do that for everybody that watches. But yeah, do that. And guys, I appreciate your thing. Happy New Year to everybody.
You too.
And appreciate you bring me on, Dave.
All right, not a problem, buddy. I'll see you again.
Yes, sir. We'll talk to you later.
Take care of yourself.
Yes, sir. Well,
It's like you never ran that thing before.
I know.